In today's video, we will be making some Geera pork. Now here is the first step. To my plate, I have some thyme, onion, pimento pepper, and these are flavored peppers. I have here some bandana, also known as culantro. I have a hot pepper, garlic, and you will need quite a few cloves of garlic for this recipe. I am also going to use some scallions, and these are just the roots I'll be blending. Now I'm going to add my green seasoning to my blender here. I'm not going to add any water to this because I want it to be finely chopped, not at a puree consistency. So I'll go blend these and I'll be right back. Now here's my green seasoning. And this is how I like it, nice and chunky. Now here's my pork. I already washed it and I cut off the excess fat. To that, I am going to add in my green seasoning. Now you want to mix to make sure that everything is well incorporated, and now we're just going to cover it and allow it to sit for about an hour or an hour and a half. Depend on the time that you have. If you have more, you can allow it to sit more. If not, you just leave this on the side for an hour or so, and it will be good enough. So guys, after about an hour and a half, you're gonna go in here with some dry ingredients. Now to my plate here, I have some paprika, complete seasoning, chicken bouillon, black pepper, garlic salt, and some adobo. And the main ingredient is Geera. So there's no good Geera pork without Geera. And in here I have some clove. Now you'll place your clove on the side, and just a little tip, if you have the time to leave your pork to marinate on the side for an hour, you don't want to add in the Geera. You want to add the Geera in when you're about to start cooking your pork. So I'm going to go in here with my dry ingredients. And I'm going to go in with my Geera. And we're going to mix to make sure that everything is evenly incorporated. Now, after everything is nicely incorporated, we'll head over to the stove for the next step. So guys, to my pot, I will turn my heat on medium high, and I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons of oil. And I'm using some olive oil. You can use any oil of your choice. Now we will allow that to come up to a nice hot temperature before we move on to the next step. So now that my oil is nice and hot, I will go in with my cloves, and I'm going to go in with some freshly chopped onion. Now I'm going to mix this and allow the onion and the cloves to infuse a little bit in the oil. And after about 2 minutes or so, I will go in with my pork. You want to make sure to mix and allow everything to combine. Now we're going to allow this to cook on medium to medium high heat. You want the pork to release any water that it's going to release, and you want that water to dry back out before you add any water to cook the meat. Now you can go ahead and cover this and allow it to cook for about a 5 minutes or so before you check on it. So guys, after about 5 minutes, I'm checking on my Geera pork here. Now I'm going to turn this here, and I still have some water here that I would like to dry out. So I'm just going to give it a next 2 to 3 minutes or so. Now after about 2 minutes, there is only oil that's left here in my pan. I'm going to go in with 3 cups of water. You want to stir, and we're going to take our temperature down to medium, and we're going to cover and allow that to come up to a boil. Once that come up to a boil, you'll just let it cook until the meat is nice and tender to your likings. So guys, when your pot come up to a boil, you want to make sure to remember and stir every 5 minutes or so that everything is cooking evenly. So after about 45 minutes of cooking, I am going to go in with some freshly chopped scallions and some red onions. I did added a cup of water off camera, so that would be like 4 cups of water it was cooked with. And it took me 45 minutes to get to where I am right now. Now this is all done. Once your scallions and your onions soften up a bit, you can turn your stove on, allow this to cool down, and it is ready to serve, guys. Now before you take your stove off, you want to taste to make sure that the salt is good enough for you. If not, you can add a little bit more of the garlic salt. This is just perfect for me. I'm not going to add anything else. So I'll plate this up and show you guys the final result. So here is the end result of our Geera pork. I hope you enjoy this recipe. I hope you give it a try, and don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more delicious recipe.